There we go.
And I think we're live. Let's check the OnlyFrets brand new channel. Yes, we are indeed live.
Sweet.
Very cool. I put a poll up. OnlyFrets having its own channel is better than going live on 2 channels. Yes, no, or who cares? Let's talk about guitars. So we'll see if anybody jumps in today. In the meantime, let's roll that intro.
Let's do it.
You're live in 3, 2, 1.
I still need to fix that ending part of that.
You
It's
can't
our old
hear it.
logo. No, I mean the
the
old
logo,
logo is
yeah.
at the end of the video, yeah.
Nobody's here yet, but good thing. Welcome everybody to the seminal episode on OnlyFrets, the YouTube channel.
Yeah. This is something we've actually talked about for a while, doing this. Just, it keeps everything in one central kind of zone, and we don't have to worry about 2 channels kind of going whatever, but, you know. So if anybody's watching this after the fact, this is where we're going to start streaming going forward. And I think it's going to be a lot better, hopefully.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be easier for us, and hopefully in terms of editing the guests and the, you know, who's on, like rather than having to edit for 2 channels, you know, we can edit for just the one, and everything's just a lot cleaner. What's up, Timmy?
Timmy.
Welcome in, brother. Jonathan, what are you holding there, buddy?
One of my fave guitars ever, Gibson SG Junior. Searching for Tone says, "Get out of my mom's house." No, I'm gonna be fingering that G string all day.
Hey. SG Junior. I need to get a junior style guitar. I was on.
Oh, they're fun.
Robert Baker's. He went live on Instagram last night, actually, and I was watching and chatting a little bit, and I was talking about going to, what is that? Rock and Roll Relics do a really cool double cut junior.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Wholeway Studios? Welcome in. Well, I've got my Nashville Telly, so opposite of you, I have the most pickups. Just a nice tone on that line 6 Podgo with the
Volume could come down just a little bit. It's clipping just a little bit, but not too much.
Let's see. Good.
Still working stuff out.
Well, I made an adjustment to the Podgo, and I think I did it with good intentions, but it did not work. Let's see. Well, we got our first question. Yeah, there we go.
I know. How do you route the amp tones when you live stream like this?
Go ahead.
So
Jonathan.
Sean does it. Yeah. So Sean does it different than I do. I do it a couple different ways. Just depending on what kind of mood I'm in, I'll use that thing right there, the Sonic Cake Pocket Master. Love that. You could also use something like this, the Stritch pipe tones. Did a video on that not that long ago. It's essentially the same thing, but you just run like the out from the headphones or something into an interface, or I'm using a Zoom pod track. Or in this case, you can't see it, but I'm using the Joyo Jam Buddy 2. And that thing sounds freaking awesome. As you can see there, sounds great. I like to use this just for the simplicity. You know, just kind of clean and dirty, with a little bit of overdrive on if I want. But it's, yeah, that's how I do it.
Nice. Yeah, mine's a little different. Hold on, let's see if this worked. Now it's very quiet. Hold on.
It sounds like you don't have an IR on it.
Yeah.
Do you have a cab sim on that?
I can I'll mess with it again here in a minute. But
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what it sounds like. Is you're not using a cab sim.
actually got my Pod Go edit up, which would. Can I adjust the global settings on here? I don't even know if I can. Anyway, I'm through some distortion effects into a Line 6 Pod Go, into a Fender GTX 100, and then into my interface from the XLR out from the GTX 100. So kind of an elaborate thing, but you know, it is what it is. Shout out to Jeremy real quick. He's stopping in real quick. Mark, the legend Spurgeon is here. I need to mod him, and I don't know how to do that except being on YouTube. So at some point, get on there and mod a couple of guys. Holway says usually go straight into Logic, into Streamlabs. Works fine. Nice. Nice.
See, that's something that I was wanting to do, was use the computer instead of something like the Jam Buddy or something like that, or the Pocket Master, because I want to use Neural Lamp Modeler.
Yeah.
As you know, but the thing is you set that as, I guess, your main audio driver or whatever, and that's all you can hear is the guitar. So it's unless you run it from like Reaper or something, but I've tried that a couple of different ways and it just is a little convoluted. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. That's more likely the case, but you know, this works. And like I said, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's fine. It can get technical, but this is nice and easy. I plug everything in like 2 seconds and it's good to go. So
Cool. All right, let's see if we're good.
much better.
All right, sweet.
Much better.
Got her figured out. I was actually bypassing the IR for some reason.
Look at that.
Well, I wanted to check in with you on your gas detox. How's day 8 treating you? Let it be known that this will trigger Mark in the chat, but we mean no disparagement to those not detoxing from gas.
Right. So for anybody that doesn't know, little experiment I'm doing called 365 Days of Gas Relief, where I just go the entirety of 2026 without purchasing any gear, with the exception of obviously necessities and sponsored videos. So a good example would be this right here that I got from Stritch recently. So video on that will be coming out relatively soon. And I have another guitar that I got right before Christmas that I'd ordered a little while beforehand, and I finally got it. So there will be a video coming out on a new guitar, but I got it in 2025, so it doesn't count. But so I've been doing okay. I've had to resist the urge of, Holy Studios doesn't believe me. So
He says good
thus
luck,
far,
but he's rooting for you.
there you go. Well, and see, that seems to be the consensus, is like, and that's why I made a little short video where I was like, we've all said it before, you know, we're not going to buy anything else. But I'm pretty hard-headed when it comes to this kind of stuff. So like or maybe that's not the right word,
You
but I'm pretty
commit.
like dedicated. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm going to commit to it.
It's okay. It's good.
So much so that on my phone, I deleted the Sweetwater app, Guitar Center app, Musician's Friend app, Reverb, even Temu, all of that stuff. I deleted all the apps so I'm not tempted. I don't get on Facebook Marketplace unless I got to sell something. Like I'm, you know,
You're in it.
really doing it. I'm
Yeah,
really
man.
doing it.
That's good.
The temptation's been, which, you know, at the end of the day too, when it comes 2027, if I make it till then, which I plan to, when I go to re-download it, I already know when I go to shop used, it's just going to be all new stuff. Because that was another thing too, is I like, I checked it every
thrill
day,
of
so
the
I saw
hunt.
a lot of it. Yeah, I saw so much of the same stuff. Like, oh, here's this and this. I've already seen this. So that's another reason I'm doing it too, is to kind of refresh on the used stuff. But the one downside that I hate is that I bought that Firefly not too long ago, and now I'm hooked on that. So when Firefly has their new drops, inevitably I can't partake. There's Mark. Yeah,
Mark is a
I probably
committed
should.
member of the gas community. He is very good. You know, he always sends me. He just got a new Explorer. He sent me pictures of.
Probably should.
Buy a piece of gear every day. Jeremy says he's planning on selling about half of his guitars. That'll trigger Mark as well. Unsub, as it were, unsub.
It's not an airport.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of in the. So I did that. I've done that like for 2 years out of the last like 6, where I'll have like a year where I'll buy a bunch of crap. And then usually I try and keep it to like 2 or 3 pieces of gear that I purchase throughout the year. But like, I had one year where I was really good about it, and what I bought was lessons. Like, I spent my money on lessons instead. And does a pick every day count? No. Picks, strings, and you know, essentials, guitar maintenance essentials are off the table when it comes to.
Yeah.
That's not real. We're talking amps, pedals, and guitars here.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff. That's right. Anything with a little juice. Ban your accountant. Oh, Brian, your accountant is on line 3. Well, you know, if I was a retired firefighter with currently only dogs in the house, I probably would go a little ham. And one day probably will go a little ham on the gear. My dad has a shed full of gear, and you know, that's what it's for, man. It's for guys who are retired to,
Yeah.
you know, just get their paws on stuff they've always wanted. Because I mean, that's another thing too. You worked your whole life. I mean, that's why my dad went kind of crazy after he retired. He worked his whole life, and you know, he always kind of had a bunch of guitars, but he really like went after stuff that he never got. That he really big Gibson jumbo acoustic and stuff like that. So,
Well, and that's something that I've liked too, is like, you know, if you go the whole year, it's essentially just doing like what a lot of people do, is like, I want this big thing. Not that I have a big thing in mind or anything right now, but you know, the money that you would save throughout the year buying this little piece of gear here and doing all this, and then the headache of having to sell it. It's like, if come later on down the year, say Gibson releases something that's really cool, I could be like, ooh, I can get that next year with all this money that I'm saving, you know, kind of thing. Because I've kind of thought about maybe, you know, putting all the YouTube money aside that I can, or whatever, just all the money that I would normally spend on stuff, and then buy a big thing at the start of 2027, something like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be a fun like community, like, what should I get? Should I get this, or whatever the case is?
do
Who
you?
knows?
I'll ask you this: do you keep like hold on, we've got a question here. Have you guys tried the John Mayer? Are we talking the what's that company that does the amp models?
Oh, wow, I'm behind on this.
I can't remember the name of the company that does
It's
them.
not
But they
it's
have
not
like, you
Neural
know, they have
DSP,
like a
is it?
Corey Wong, and they have a Rabia or Rabia, and they have you know, a bunch of different guys. Who's the other? Tim Henson.
Yeah,
Dang,
Neural
okay.
DSP.
Neural
Yeah,
DSP. Yeah, thanks.
that's what I was thinking. No, I have not tried it. I've actually not ever used a Neural DSP product thing. So
Yeah,
I
haven't.
try to
I've
stay
never
free.
tried any Neural DSP either.
I use Neural Amp Modeler, which is not related in any way, shape, form, or
Right.
fashion to Neural DSP, but you know, it gets the job done. So
I would though. It sounds really good, and like
Oh, yeah.
every guitar player I've seen try it out is just like, you know, it's like that food guy on Instagram that throws his glasses when he cooks things. You're a baker, so you probably know that guy I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It's
no, I know
like
you're talking about.
guitar players are basically like plugging in, playing the, and then they're like throwing their glasses. You know, they're like, "Dang, that sounds good."
Well,
So,
even that video John Mayer where he was doing it, he was like, "Oh my god!" Like, you know,
Yeah.
so if the man himself approves, then
it's got to be good. For
It's gotta be
sure.
good.
I have
Yeah.
no doubt about that. Give it a go. It's
Ooh,
really good.
14-day trial.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like
That's
I like free trials. I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah. That would be good video content for free, and it's not new gear,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah, that's a good way around it.
Yeah, that's right.
I've tried to consider our digital products the same thing.
I don't think so. To me, that's not gear. Like,
Yeah.
if you download a new model for your NAM, for your Sonic Cake Pocket Master or something like that, I'm not counting that as new gear ever, because those are free almost
Yeah.
all the time, you know. So, yeah.
Well, because I was thinking of like maybe trying to find a good drum. Like I've got a good free drum thing, but it's like strictly metal. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to decide with this album idea that I have to either go like full on metal, which I can do, and I already have some riffs recorded for that, or do I take something like this and go like full kind of blues rock, kind of classic rocky kind of thing? Because I like all that kind of stuff too.
Sure.
You know, pull out my wannabe Jerry James Nichols licks, but you know,
Well, you got to follow your heart. The biggest thing is, like, you know, I've done like 4 releases in the last couple of months, and they're all pretty different from each other. I'd say I'd have like, it's all like rock and roll adjacent singer-songwriter stuff, but some of them have a little bit of metal mixed in there. I just say, like, whatever comes out, that's what you should make. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you need to marry like, rock and metal go together so well. You could have a really awesome, like, heavy track going, and then pop in like a pentatonic blues
Right.
rock solo lick's gonna sound awesome. I mean, Kirk Hammett does that all the time. So,
or I could just go like full 12-foot ninja and like gent kind of prog or whatever, and then go straight into jack. I mean, I love that.
yeah,
If y'all never heard of 12-foot ninja, oh my god, listen, they are incredible. Their singer left, unfortunately, like a year or 2 ago, and he had such a unique, distinct voice. But oh well,
yeah.
all good things come to an end, right?
Bogren is a big thing for Jonathan. He was talking about getting in on those, you know, free, like,
The
those
riff
competitions
contests.
to win free product from them. Again, to me, that's like new gear adjacent. Like, I wouldn't count that if you ended up winning something on there.
Well, yeah.
It's a major award.
I know. It's bragging rights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
no,
right.
like I said, the whole thing with the gas thing is not putting in my card number on a website on purpose and buying something that then comes over here. That's the thing.
Right.
So if it ends up in my possession and I didn't pay for it, I can't help that.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Is it
Mark
cheating?
sent
I
me
don't
that Maestro Invader distortion pedal that's on my board right now, and I can't help that. And he
Yeah.
also sent me the Digitech Trio Band Creator Plus pedal
Oh, nice.
looper, like, and I did a video on that, and it is easily my most popular video this year. It's like up to 1,500 views already, which is a lot for
Oh, wow.
one of my videos, because I have 404 subs right now. So that's like 3 times my subscribership. So I appreciate
Yeah,
Mark,
that's good.
because he's getting my watch hours up for sure. I did have one comment on that was like in French or something, and I had to translate it, and it said, "You should know how to use this pedal before doing a video on it." And I was like, fair enough. I said, but I thought it would be fun to just kind of plug it in and see what happens, like how, you know what I mean? Like, we're learning together kind of thing.
So yeah, and I'm 100% on board with that because I feel strongly that if you kind of rehearse almost, or like you kind of know how it works,
Yep.
it maybe the opinion feels a little skewed. But if you're like, hey, let's unbox this, plug it in, and like, here's my genuine first opinion on it. To me,
Yep.
I prefer that because it's almost like if you plug it in straight out of the box or whatever. I mean, if you're fiddling with it, you know.
I thought it was a good.
It's more
I mean,
entertaining.
I thought it was a good video. I kind of showed everything that it could do, and in real time. I don't know, but it's the internet. So, Holway says saw the reverb video on the Digitech RP. It was the 250, the RP 250, and I actually had one of those. It's the old Digitech multi-effects pedals. It has like a wah pedal on it, and then it had 2 like cycle switches and 3 knobs, and you could kind of go through some presets. It didn't really allow much. It was kind of like the Line 6 Spider amps. Like there wasn't a lot of customization that could be done, as far as like, certainly not comparable to my Fender GTX or to any of the new modeling stuff, but it was a cool pedal. And I actually toyed with the idea of buying one. There's one on Reverb for like $20 or something like that, and like doing like this was my original rig, and I could get the Behringer amp and a
Hey, Mark.
got it in Reverb and bought a pedal.
He's trying to tempt me. I know that's what he's doing.
He is. I hereby, Scout's honor, do solemnly swear not to peer pressure you with Guitars Garden or any other guitar purchases. I am pledging allegiance to the cause at this moment, so I won't do
we'll
it.
see how
Mark
that goes.
definitely is going to try and get you. He's probably going to hit you up on Facebook and ask you for your address and send you something.
Probably.
Anyway, sorry.
It's all good.
What's a mainstay on your boards? I've removed pretty much everything on my board except for an EQ and a drive. I have wah and a bunch of other stuff. Well, that's a good question. I have 2 pedal boards. That's Jonathan's fault. So your mother. Hey, your mother. How about that?
I got one for your mother right here and right
For
there.
your mother. Mainstay on my board is obviously the Pod Go and the GTX 100 foot switcher. If I could move my camera, I'd show you. I have videos on it on my channel whole way, so go and subscribe to Sean Plays Guitar. Let's run that banner. So
Oh, yeah, I forget we have that.
yeah, but if we're talking just like pedals, my Nick Perry by Dustin Francis Feeling Good Fuzz Face, the Marsling Octafuzz drive from Interstellar Audio, the Klon Nauticlon from the JHS Nauticlon, and the JHS Overdrive preamp. Those are all there all the time. And then my second board, which I guess I could unplug and show you, is over there, and maybe I'll let Jonathan. You're not much of a board guy, right?
Not really, no. I'm very much a just plug into an amp and get everything from the amp kind of guy. So I've got my board right here. You can maybe kind of see it right down there. I've got a Sonicake Flip Wah, which is also a volume pedal, which is kind of cool. Got that going into an MXR Dynacomp, which my uncle gave me one year for Christmas. So
Nice.
There's that. The very first ever, well, not very first ever, like my second ever sponsored video, my Maxon OD808 Overdrive. Then from that, I have another pedal that my uncle gave me for Christmas one year, the Boss SD1. There's that going straight into the front of the amp, and then I've got a Donner reverb and delay pedal up there. I've had those forever. Just
Yeah.
the little mini pedals. Other than that, yeah, that's what I got.
Very nice. Well, this one, I'll show you the little board, which is really fun. And actually, I use
That's
it.
the little board.
This is the little board. I use it on my Troubadour amp over here, which is actually like an acoustic live gigging amp. But the nice part about having a modeler into a flat response amp is that I can make it sound like whatever I want. So
Yep.
Jonathan sent me this board and the Sonic Cake because apparently he had 2 Sonic Cakes and didn't need the board because he already had one. And my board, my big board, is actually made out of wood, and it's about 32 inches wide and 12 inches this way. But this Sonic Cake, so it's a Jimi Hendrix wah. Jonathan's triggered now. Jimi Hendrix wah into my other Nick Perry fuzz pedal by Cunningham Amps. I'm a bit of a, like, collector. Like, you know how you were with the Epiphone 50s model Les Pauls? That's kind of how I feel about the Nick Perry fuzz pedals. I'm like watching for them. There's one more coming out, I think, this year from a different company, so that's kind of cool. The Moore slow engine, which just does a really cool, like, what would you call that? Like an EBO effect almost. So it like a violin kind of thing. The Not a Dumble, the Overhive, and all that into the line 6 delay, and then that into here and here out into the amp. So yeah, this is a fun board for sure. Huh. And yeah, I like it.
Gets the job done.
Yep, green line 6, baby. The deal. So fun story about these 2 pedals and my TS9 Ibanez Tube Screamer, which got replaced on the big board by the Invader Distortion. But these 3 were my buddies in college, and they were kind of the first effects pedals that I'd ever messed with. So he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get rid of these," and I was like, "Don't put them on Marketplace," because they're kind of like heirlooms, or like, I mean, remember, we literally call that time where me and 3 of my buddies all live together, we have a name for it. It's called The Era. And like, it was just the most debaucherous, like, bachelordom you could think of. And so, like, these are from The Era. I was like, you're not selling those to, like, the public. I'll come get them. So they stayed in the family. But yeah, this is my my little board, and it works the same way. I can plug it right into the GTX at any time and get, tones from this instead of from the Pod Go. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Apparently those Line 6 multi-effects are insanely good. I really wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm kind of, with the Line 6 stuff, I'm a little bit on the fence about them, just because I'm still stuck on the Spider series kind of ruined it for me, because that was my first amp, was a Spider 3 combo, I think.
Yeah.
And, obviously at the time you're like, this is so cool. It's got this insane setting. That's just, which I know that's beating a dead horse kind of thing. But I don't know. Line 6 is kind of come a long way.
They really have.
They really have.
100%.
Like, I would love a Helix,
Yeah. Yeah. The Pod Go is like a Helix Lite. Like, the only feature that doesn't exist on the Pod Go that does exist on the Helix is the dual amp and cab routing.
Oh, yeah.
So you can have 2, kind of like that John Mayer, that Holway Studios was talking about, where you can run multiple. I think his actually does 3 amps on Neural DSP, but typically you would do like 2 amps. Like Joe Bonamassa plays through 2. Jared James Nichols always tours with 2. So a lot of guys are, I think Marcus King runs 2 amps. He's like running a Fender Deluxe reverb and then his orange amp, and they're miking both of those up. So it is really like limiting in that way. But I also have a wah pedal on the Line 6 that adds something that the Helix doesn't have. And obviously you can just buy a wah, but it's nice that it's included. And I really like the tones. And like you said, they've come a long way. It's not just, you're not just like sidled to the things Line 6 produces. They're taking models from other amps and stuff like that. So I can get endless amounts of tone. I think there's like 50 amp models in there. And then like whatever's on my GTX 100, which is less, but still really good quality tone captures. And yeah, it's just like basically having every single amp at your fingertips.
Right.
And I get the, you know, the Spider 3, I believe it got a bad rap because none of us, we were all 12 and none of us knew how to use it.
Yeah.
But I had the half stack, the Spider 3 half stack, and I was playing metal at the time. And I mean to tell you, that thing was fucking loud.
Really?
And really powerful. And I never played on the insane setting. I usually would just do the metal to the clean. I even had the foot switcher for it, so I could go in between like different tones. They had like a solo tone setup with delay, and then a rhythm tone, and then a clean tone. I never really used the insane setting, so I didn't like. I never got sucked into that these amps are trash thing. I always loved that. And I bought it for $250 in like 2009. The half stack with the foot switch. It's like if I could get it for that now, I'd probably buy another one. They're awesome.
Yeah. I'm assuming you mean everybody wanted to sound like James Hetfield and scoop out the mids.
Yep. Super scooped. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting to sound like your heroes. It's just
whether or not you can achieve it.
Right. Yeah.
The execution.
And it's not even like, oh, you have to have like the amp and all that kind of stuff that they use. Because I mean, some stuff kind of is. I mean, really, when you get into amp world and stuff, even like pedals, it's all based off of something, right? Yeah. So some things you can get really close with. It's like you're never going to get exact, but there's just those people out there that just chase tones, man. They really just want it. Like, there's one channel. Who was it? Glenn Fricker recommended him. I think it's Lamb Chopper. I think it's the name of the guy. I've watched a couple of his videos. Man, that dude goes in depth about how to get pretty much any tone you want. I mean, it's like, here's a Metallica. Like, you like this Metallica song? Let me show you how he got it. And he'll be like, you go here and do that. And I'm just like, that's insane.
Yeah, some guys just have an ear for that, you know?
Yeah.
I've tried to do it like from time to time. Mostly failing, but like yesterday, so my dad and I are working on one of his songs. It's an older one. It's a country tune. And so I just like Googled, like, give me your basic, like, AI's version of what a country tone would be, you know, Telecaster, bridge pickup. And then it's like, go through, you know, a Fender Deluxe reverb or some type of Fender amp. So I loaded one of those up on the Podgo. Here, maybe I'll demo it really quick. And then it's like you need a compressor, and you need a little bit of slapback delay, and you need some type of light distortion, like a drive pedal, right? And so, you know, it just kind of gave me the, maybe if I can find the thing, just kind of like a quick rundown of like country tone. And if I can find it, I'll show you what it sounds like. Here it is. And that's without, you know, or that's with the distortion on. But But that, I mean, I don't have the slapback on there because some reason I didn't save that. But, you know, a little bit of delay and some spring reverb and you're in business. And it's just cool that somebody went, like, you can find these guys that make images on Google of, like, people's signal chains so that you can try to emulate them. You know, Allison chains.
Right.
Like, some guys have, like, deeply disturbingly elaborate signal chains. But what's up, Steve? Welcome in, buddy. Have you guys ever... That's kind of what I'm talking about, whole ways. I didn't use Chat GPT, but it was Google's AI that, like, listed off all that stuff. So it was AI. And that was the tone it came up with. And I got to say, I think it's pretty darn accurate. So you definitely can do it. But some guys just have an ear for it, for sure, you know.
I'm going to go into Copilot and say, generate metal guitar tone settings.
Yeah.
See what it does. But yeah, no, and that goes back to the whole AI thing too. It's like, to me, there's no wrong in doing that because you just kind of learn, use it as a learning tool.
Yeah.
Let's see. For a powerful metal guitar tone, start with high gain, 8 to 10. It's saying boost your gain all the way to 10. That's not, no.
not true.
Boosted bass, 7 to 9. God.
Don't you cut the bass?
Generally, I do, yeah.
Because the bass is going to be taking up all that. The bass guitar is going to be taking up all that frequency.
So, and it's saying boosted bass, 7 to 9, scooped mids, 3 to 5. So there's the scooped mids thing, and sharp treble, so 5 to 7. Which they got that part right. You want to have the trebles and the mids boosted. These settings deliver tight low end chugs, aggressive distortion, and cutting clarity for riffs and solos.
Okay.
Between the boosted bass and the high gain, it's going to sound muddy as hell.
Yeah.
It's going to sound so muddy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you know, it tried. It did about as good as a robot could do.
Here we go. You scroll down, it says common pitfalls. Too much gain can cause muddiness, even though you just said gain to 10. Excessive bass. Overpowering low end can clash with bass guitar, even though you just said boosted bass 7 to 9.
Right.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
funny.
Okay.
I'm currently modding a couple guys here. I'm going to get a couple of mods in here. We're going to mod Brian.
But I will say, just while you're doing that, for what I have loaded on the Jam Buddy, I've got like a dual rec, and this is just kind of like, you know, stock. Like it's got that mid range to it. It's got a little bit of bass to it. Like if I played, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's got the bass in there, but it's not to the point where the bass guitar is going to clash with it. Because especially, and this is something that Glenn Fricker has yelled about people for years, and it's really something that I took to heart too, is you got to stop thinking like a guitar player.
Yep.
And think like a engineer.
Member.
Like an engineer or a band member. Yeah, exactly. Now, if you're in your room, if I was just in here playing, yeah, you could scoop the mids and boost the bass. And it would probably sound okay in the room, but the second you go try to put that tone in a mix, it's just getting lost.
It never works.
And that's the thing too, where, you know, guitar players have this thing for being like difficult in the studio because they're like, no, I want my sound, I want my amp. You can't do, like, let the engineer, he knows what he's doing. Like yes, your tone's probably going to sound kind of thin and not as heavy and all this kind of stuff on its own.
Yeah.
But the song is not just about your guitar and your awesome riffs that you came up with. It's a togetherness thing, right?
Right.
So, which is, you know, common sense, but that's not very common.
I recorded so my son, actually, my 7-year-old, he actually wrote a song, and he wanted to record it. And of course, I was like, hell yeah, brother, you know? Right. And so we came downstairs. Like, at first, I sat down with an acoustic and got the chords worked out based on how he was singing it. And then eventually we came downstairs, and we got some drum and bass, courtesy of AI. And then we recorded his vocals. And I recorded my guitar, and the guitar I was EQing it today because it was muddy, and it was taking up. It was distorted, but it was like flubbing out where the bass was hitting in certain spots. So I just EQ'd it and added some treble, and it clears it right up. So you do have to kind of think like an engineer to get like the best sound you can. I mean, here's like my metal tone. And that's cool, but that will not sound good in a mix. And I guess I was on the neck pedal. That's a little better. But
there you go, yeah.
You know, it's cool, but you're gonna have to clean it up a little. Like, you're gonna have to EQ it. It's just is what it is. So I mean, I'm with you on that.
And the other thing too is I learned this from God, what's his name?
Nice.
Is it Robert Jackson, the guy that used to be? Can't remember his old YouTube name. It's been a while. Anyway, too much gain. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could put your gain, and I've done this before too, and gotten these results. Put your gain at like a 4 or a 5, and just play heavier, like pick heavier, and it will change your life. Because I mean, you listen to like some older like Megadeth stuff, like it's not very gainy, but it still hits really hard.
Well, and they have 2 guitarists in that band too, so
exactly. So if both of them were at 9 on the gain,
yep.
I mean, it would just be a mud fest. It wouldn't be good.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
AC/DC famously, everybody thinks that you need a high gain Marshall, you know, to play an AC/DC riff, and really, it's more. You know, they're probably on like 3 to 5, like you're saying. Like, there's a little bit of gain dialed into their Marshalls, but it's not as much as you would think. It's just super loud. You know, it's just like pushed volume, not pushed gain. Well,
it's really, like here's like a
yeah,
and it sounds fine. Like that's a low gain Marshall type sound, right?
Yeah,
sounds great. Sounds like AC/DC kind of.
Like now. That same thing, no drive pedals included, but if you step on a overdrive pedal, I mean, that doesn't sound like AC/DC to me. You know, it's way too fuzzy. Maybe a lower gain one, but you can't hear what he's doing. You can't hear that like dissonance. You know, that little chord there. That's actually the tone. It's just like driven by volume, not by gain. So,
right.
I mean,
well, it's the same idea too. It might be more gain covers up some mistakes. You don't hear all the nuances. Same kind of deal where people say like with wah, you know, it covers up when you're over there. Like when Kirk Hammett's over there, like that. If he makes a mistake, you're not going to hear it because the wah is covering up on top of the distortion.
when I do my live streams, I cover mistakes with wah. All the time. It is.
We all know what we're doing with a wah.
It is the way. Yeah. Well, there's a nice thing too for like tapping. You almost have to have the wah. I've found, like, no matter what guitar I'm using, if I don't have the wah, the tapping is really weak, dude. Like, I'm I'm slamming it. It just doesn't sustain. The sustain you get out of a wah just really brings the tapping parts out, like, in a really cool way. So I think that's why a lot of guys do it.
I mean,
yeah,
I kind of get it. For me, it's like if you were going multiple strings, like I could do it on one string all day long. But the second I try to move that shape up a string when I'm having to like mute that one, like the wah would definitely cover that up.
It is like a nice, I would call it like an additive over a crutch, though it is acting a bit as a crutch, but it's not quite a wheelchair. You know, it's like, it's helping you, but it ain't doing all the work.
It's a shoulder to lean on, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Like a good friend on a
cold day.
What is this? Timmy says, I'm straight through a crate and a Moore pedal. No pewter. Very nice. We like traditional rigs, too.
Speaking of crate, has anyone ever played a Blue Voodoo? And if you have, what are your thoughts on that? Because that's an amp that I've been curious about forever. I think they look cool. And I like the idea of like the old crate amps, but...
Hold on. Let me look this up. Crate Blues amp. I had a Crate Vintage Club 50. And that is like a tweed kind of blues amp. And it frickin' roared, dude. Like, I kid you not, I've had many tube amps over the years. My very favorite.
What are you doing here, Mark?
He's hoarding things. That's what he's doing. He's collecting everything.
He's trying to piss me off on reverbs.
When he can play the whole store in his house, okay?
Right.
I'm with it. I support it. And one day I'm going to go to Alaska and visit, and I'm going to play all his stuff. Oh, yes, on the Blue Voodoo. Nice.
I didn't know they made a Red Voodoo either.
Red Voodoo was
Sammy
insane.
Hagar.
Yeah, but the Crate Club 50 was crazy, dude. I mean, and I had like I used to play the Squire Venus, the old Kurt Cobain's wife.
Yeah, the Courtney Love.
Yeah, the Courtney Love guitar. Underrated, by the way. Got a bad rap due to the name it was attached to. That was a chunky C neck and really hot pickups. And it was great for garage metal. And the Crate amp, best tube amp I've ever played, for sure. Like, without question. I haven't... My dad even had, like, a Gibson Gold Tone. I mean, he had Blues Juniors and, like, all kinds of tube amps over the years that I played through. That Crate Club 50 was fantastic.
Yeah, Crate's one of those, I think it's like, it falls in the same camp of like an era, like where people are like, I started on a Gorilla amp and it was a piece of shit. And then you had that kind of like the people later on, like I had a Crate amp and it was a piece of shit. And then you have like the Line 6 people, I had the Line 6 Spider and it was, you know, that kind of thing. So when it comes to the Crate stuff, I'm just like kind of on the fence, like aiming like, but I see Crate stuff all the time and it's dirt cheap. And I'm like, you know, not as of late, obviously, but yeah, the Blue Voodoos seem to be one that people talk about a lot, but because people talk about them, they are maybe a little overpriced for what they are, which is kind of been the thing keeping me from buying one. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
Plus, it's a
that.
massive head too. It's like
watch those Digitech RD pedals go up by like 80%, you know, because Reverb did a video on them, and now everybody else wants to do videos on them, and it's just, I mean, like they're cool. For $20, I would buy one. For $100, you can kiss my backside for sure.
kiss my whole ass.
Technically, all of this stuff is super cheap. I mean, like the barrier to entry adjusted for inflation, like a $250 Firebird, like what you got out of Firefly, that's there's no Firefly in 1957 or whenever they released the or in the 60s. There's no Firefly. You're paying $300 to $500 adjusted for inflation, basically dead even with what Gibson charges for a Firebird nowadays. And we can backdoor that whole thing and pay $250 for a really good Firebird model guitar.
Well, and what did $250 get you back in like the 80s or 90s? I wasn't around in the 80s, and I was whatever in the 90s. But yeah, I was going to say $250 then was like, it was ass.
Yes.
Every guitar then was ass at that
Completely
price
ass.
range.
Silvertone.
But nowadays,
like,
you know, but even Silvertone, like look, with Silvertone, I had that baritone, loved it. I just didn't play it enough to justify keeping it. I'm in the talks with Silvertone to potentially get something else on the channel. And if you haven't already seen their like marketing push, they're supposed to be coming out with some new model or a bunch of new models. I'm hoping to get one of them on the channel at some point. I've been talking to them for like the better part of a year about this.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, that Silvertone, that baritone I got, it was fantastic straight out of the box. So Silvertone has been reinvented. And I mean, the guy that I talked to is like, he's like the guy redesigning all of this stuff. So he's like telling me what's going on with it and stuff, and it's like, he's like, they're good. And I'm like, yeah, if it's anything like that baritone, I'm excited for it. So
yeah, that's
Silvertone
awesome,
is definitely coming back around, and they're a brand to not sleep on.
Well, it's kind of like that thing. Like I saw my old Squier Duosonic, Strat shaped object on Reverb for like $200. That was $200 when my dad bought it for me in like the late '90s or whatever. Cheap, crappy. I mean, it broke like the jack, jack broke on it and stuff like it just wasn't a good quality instrument. It never stayed in tune. It had crappy tuners on it, and it's never gonna stop. What was that? String said. Oh wait, Searching for Tone says right before you're looking to sell something to a video, this crate is the best amp ever. Right. Make sure you hit that algorithm.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy says we used to joke that crate stood for can't really afford the gear, and that's the thing is like some of the products were actual ass, like you said, like the guitars back in the day. But some of the inexpensive product was actually good and misunderstood. And it's important to be able to discern those things. But, like, you could not get, like, to get the Moore effects pedal, which I think you and Brian from Searching for Tone have both demoed, I believe. I think you did one. Or was yours the DNA effects thing? I can't remember. I know you've done like a multi-effects unit before, but like the Moore version of the Podgo, right, is $250, $300 or something like that. You get one of those, and then you pay $250 with shipping for a Firefly, and you're kind of in business. You can get like a pretty cheap FR cab right now from like Harley Benton. I mean, the options to get great tone for less money, or it's cheaper than ever. The economy is flipped. Luxury items are now very cheap, and necessities are extremely expensive. It's super dumb. I would rather pay more for guitars and less for my house, I think, personally.
Yeah.
But, it is...
all in the guise to keep us thinking that it's all good.
Well, having fun is cheap now, is what I'm saying. Except going to the movies is like wildly expensive.
Well, I mean, it takes your mind off of it.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
You can't afford groceries.
Don't think about your rent.
I know. Like,
play guitar.
nice shiny object, So, yeah. But,
and I would argue, I welcome the distraction. So I mean, it is like gear is cheaper than it's like good quality gear. In the budget line is cheaper than it's ever been.
Oh yeah, and it's never been better. Never been better.
If you adjusted for inflation and you took a $250 guitar, as good a quality as what you can get right now, back to the 50s, you'd basically pay like $25 for a quality, giggable, playable instrument.
I mean, you also got to think too. There was at one point in time there weren't as many overseas options. Like nowadays, you have Japan, China, Indonesia, Vietnam. Like back then, maybe you had like Japan, and before Japan got really, really good at what they do, like older Japanese guitars, like 70s Japanese guitars, they're bad.
Yeah, right.
But
90s Japan though, fantastic. Pinnacle
90s like
building.
Jacksons. Oh my God! Yeah,
the Jacksons, the Fenders, the little run of Squires they did.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any Midge like Epiphone. I don't think there are. But their Taiwan stuff was really good.
They're made in Japan Epiphones.
Did they have?
And they had the Elitist model, which had like this really weird like hump for a headstock. It's almost like they took the Gibson headstock and just made a hump. It was really weird. And then they have some of the open book. They are very, well, I don't want to say very expensive, but they're priced cheaper than the inspired by Gibson custom ones that they make now, but they're more expensive. They sit like in between used, depending.
Or the Yamaha stuff, the made in Japan
Oh, yeah.
Yamaha.
Oh, yeah,
from
God,
the 90s and the 80s. Holy crap! But yeah, I mean, the 70s were a proving ground for them. They had to figure it all out. You know, they'd never really like ventured into electric guitar manufacturer or even acoustic, like those Red Label acoustics that they were doing. Some of their best work, apparently, from Yamaha. So, I mean, yeah, it's just, but now you can get that quality out of, you know, a Firefly factory in China for really.
Or even then, like going back to the Japanese Jackson thing, you can find a Japanese, like a performer, not the highest quality Japanese one, but I mean, really, really good for like maybe under $300.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe go a little higher, maybe in the $500 range, which even like that's killer for what that is.
Yeah. And it is just consensus. Like, I think objectively the best time ever to be a guitar player, which is why Mark can't stop buying gear. And why you feel the need to stop buying gear.
Exactly, and that is full circle, yeah. And that's another thing too. It's like when you have just because I'm not the biggest like country of origin kind of like I'm not the one that's like, oh, it's made in China, so it's crap. It's made in Indonesia, it's crap. But American made, like it's good because I've played some pretty shit Gibsons.
Yeah.
As much as I love them, but I mean, there's just country of origin does not matter anymore. It's just everywhere. They're going to have their stinkers. But I mean, when you can pick up like, for example, that Stritch back there, I set it up. It's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah.
It plays great. And that thing in a kit is like $179. So the guitar itself is valued at probably 120-ish. For that quality, $120? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, yeah, it's just great. Let's switch gears here. Let's talk about what we have coming up. We got a couple people still hanging out with us. So,
Yeah.
next week, potential guest from across the pond. And
cool.
then in February, we have one on the books, which I am very, very excited about. I'm hoping it will lead into getting Jonathan's dream guest on here, Jared James Nichols. So
this was such a bad idea for me.
it's
doing
okay.
this. I should have never done it.
It's all done with love. I know these guys.
I'm trying to get help, folks.
Even better, he's trying to help himself. Okay,
I know.
We can appreciate that about someone.
Bad influences, all of you.
But we have a couple yeses that are in limbo, so just waiting on response for that. So we will have more guests. I would like to get our friend and your friend and everybody's friend, the Ubi, on here at some point. He has just been a hugely positive force in the community circles that we all run in. And so I want to get him on here and talk about that kind of thing. Probably get Brian back on at some point. Maybe in a couple months we could do a check-in on his guitar lesson progress and how that's all going. I feel like that would be really cool. And what do you have coming up over on Electric Flamingo, Mr. Jones?
Kind of more of the same stuff. Just like I said, I got all my scheduled stuff. The Stritch video will come out. I'm probably going to do some kind of like follow-up every so often on the gas relief thing. Trying to think if there's anything else. I do have one, again, I think I might have mentioned this. If not, I'll just say it. I did buy a guitar somewhere in December that showed up before 2026, so it was bought last year. Even though I called the Firebird, the Gold Firebird, the last guitar 2025, it technically wasn't. But one last hoorah.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's a really interesting one, and I was on the fence about even making a video about it, and you'll see why when it comes out. I won't spoil too much, but I saw someone else do one, and I said, you know what? If they can do it, so can I.
There you go.
I'll deal with the repercussions later.
Nice. And on the music, have you been working on like full length tracks and stuff like that at all yet, or?
Yeah, so I've got one or two, I can't remember. I think I've got two that are kind of like pretty much written and like a demo recorded. So I got to like do some tweaking and like rewriting and stuff for parts for the metal side of things. And then I started the idea of like the blues rock kind of thing yesterday, where I was like, oh, I was just playing around on this, as a matter of fact, and I was like, oh, this riff sounded kind of cool. I forgot how it goes, but I recorded it, so I have to go back and relearn it. But
Cool.
it's going well. I mean, and I'm not thinking like, 10 track out. I'm thinking like a EP-ish, LP kind of thing, just 4 or 5 tracks.
Songs. Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool.
Nothing complicated. Test the
nice.
waters.
Well, I'm hoping to get some privacy at some point so I can record vocals, because we've talked about this before, but for a track that I'm working on with Keith at For the Love of Guitars, he sent me kind of like a really well-produced guitar track that I was able to just plop in and start working on. And I wrote some lyrics pretty quickly. I just kind of mumbled around in the chorus until the lyrics came to me, and then out came everything else. So that was kind of nice. And it's not too complicated or deep or anything like that. So it was just a fun, really nice song. And I have everything kind of done except for the vocals on that. So I need to finish that up, and then working on
Wait till
that
everybody
one
goes
track.
to the store.
What's that?
You'd wait till everybody goes to the store and then
Kinda,
you're like,
yeah.
gotta set everything up real quick.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
That's what I do, man. You got to wait till the house is empty so you can not have any inhibitions, But yeah, so there's that one, and then still trying to decide what to do with my kid's song. I don't know what to do about that. I definitely can't make a video with him. I won't do that on YouTube. Like, I'm not putting my kid on YouTube. I mean, I guess they've been in a couple of my build videos, like randomly, but
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna like feature my son, who's 7, on a YouTube video. But I might just put it up on Facebook and let people listen to it or something. Just, he's really excited about it. So there's that one, and then
Make a lyric video.
I could do that. And then in terms of upcoming YouTube videos, I'm actually going to keep going. I just did one for my SG here, my sponsored video with Guyker. That was really cool. But I'm not done with that guitar yet, because I noticed something else on Guyker's website that appealed to me even further. That one won't be sponsored, but I think I'm gonna do more major surgery on the SG. So
Well, hey, if you use my code Flamingo at checkout, you'll get 15% off your order.
that's right. And if you want to save less money, use code SeanPlaysGuitar for 10% off.
I think mine's actually 10% too. I think they just knocked it all down. I don't know what it is anymore, honestly. It's 10 or 15, something.
I think
I think it's actually 10. No, I want to say it's 10 because every time I get an email that says like you have a new referral order, it looks like it's roughly 10% of whatever the total was. So I think
far,
it's 10%.
my only referral orders are my own.
Hey,
You give yourself a little money back on those. So
yeah. That works.
But yeah, I am gonna further modify that when all that stuff comes in, and then probably I'll do a pedal demo on the Invader distortion that Mark sent me, because I like to, if somebody sends me something, I want to do something with it. So it's cool.
Right.
Jeremy, yes, I think I could do something like that. So that might be in the works for sure. Referral is a referral. That's right. All right, guys.
Makes you look
well,
good.
I just want to thank everybody for jumping over here onto this channel. You know,
Yep.
what do they say? Like, rate, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I want to
Smash
thank,
that subscribe button.
That's right. And I want to thank Brian for letting me shill on his live stream. Ubi's not here, but I want to thank him. My daughter's screaming at the top of her lungs upstairs, probably over something very minute.
She doesn't care that everybody's there. She said, I'm going to sing.
She has a flair for the dramatic, and we love that about her because it's what makes her adorable. But just so you know, she looks like this right now. Head back, just screaming into the void. That's what she does. It's so funny.
Yeah. Those are always fun times.
But yeah, so begins OnlyFrets as a podcast channel's maiden voyage. I will say, I am going to be blowing up everybody's subscription timeline because I am working on
I probably will
migrating.
too on mine.
Yeah. And I'm going to be working on migrating all of those episodes over. You know, if you've already seen one, feel no need to like go on and watch, but we do want them all centralized onto the OnlyFrets podcast channel. So especially, I was thinking about it, especially the interview segments. I want those up for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know, if you see us blowing you up, those are not live. They say live, they are not live. But we are going to be doing a little video dump. So,
Yeah, I'm going to try to promote to my audience, just like, you know, hey, we have this new
Thank you,
channel
Jeremy.
here, go do that. So
yeah, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I really do. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us, and
yeah, absolutely.
catch you down the road next Thursday, hopefully with a guest. So
Might be your mom, who knows?
might be. It's definitely going to be from your mom's house. I don't know if she'll be there.
Yeah, I have effects. I just haven't used them.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
right. Let's give a round of applause, Jonathan, for all the boys and girls that joined us. Very
There you
nice. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you.